In the top stories, the police need your help to find a missing man. South Korean vaccines used here approved by the World Health Organization, and senior health official says AstraZeneca vaccine effective against new COVID variants. The details to these stories and more after the break.
In your formative years, we were there. When you got the good news and the bad, we were right there with you. Through all your great adventures, we were always right by your side. Now that life has thrown us a curveball, we are still here. And as we navigate this difficult period, the SKCCU will continue to be there for you and your family to help you through. We will assist you in safely and efficiently accessing your funds through our digital platforms, online banking, mobile banking, ATMs, and even our drive-through services. We can get through this together with responsible financial decisions by making food and medication a priority, practicing proper hygiene, maintaining social distancing, and constant prayer.
We're here for you. We're still here. We will get through this together.
SKCCU will continue to be your financial partner for life.
Hey, man, I just can't believe that.
Yo, sweet boy, what you really crying for?
Why you see me crying, boy? What man crying? I just see her thinking about that girl. I think she cheating on me, you know.
You lie.
Boy, for real. A couple of weeks ago, right? She come telling me how I'm too sweet and that I just make she belly roll and I got her thighs rubbing. What is that?
No, man.
But yes. Look, she tell me, right, that we need some time apart. To be honest, I wasn't too concerned about that because you know how the girls and them, they're addicted to me sweetness. But then I see she the other day and the girl looking so good, looking so fresh and so lean.
Boy, you sure she addicted to you?
But yes. But wait. Look at her. Come. Hide. Boy, come hide now. Oh, I can't believe, but is that what going on? Really? Why you got to say for yourself?
Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody, hey.
Use BioCare Lab Strong Ends products to supercharge your hair with deep, lasting hydration from nature's most amazing moisturizers, raw moisturizing honey, and conditioning shea butter. These ingredients pull moisture from the hair to boost, strengthen, and restore the oldest and weakest parts of your hair, your ends, helping to keep them stronger. Wow, beautiful hair. Strong Ends. Dry, damaged, breaking hair and no hair growth? Strong ends? Whoa! I'm not cutting this hair for anything. Weak, thinning edges due to weaves and braids. Strong ends? Longer and free of split ends. Get supercharged from roots to end with BioCare Lab Strong Ends Honey and Shea Butter Infused Relaxer and Hair Growth Product. Available retail at CNC Superfoods on the Bay Road and wholesale at CNC Trading on the CAP Southwell Industrial Park. Telephone 465-4081.
Trustworthy, secure, reliable, and responsive. These are just some of the words customers use to describe their experience with the Bank of Nevis Limited. And after 35 years of delivering excellent customer service and honoring our corporate social responsibilities in the island of Nevis, we are finally in St. Kitts. Come and experience why we're not just another option. We are the standard. Bond strong.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Major Newscast. I'm Jason Davis. The police need your help in locating a missing man, Purcell Hope, also known as Peter James of Cont Street, Newtown. He is 68 years of age with black and gray hair and dark brown eyes. He has a slim body and is 5 feet 5 inches tall. Purcell Hope, also known as Peter James, was last seen in Stapleton on Saturday, June 19 at about 7 p.m. wearing a black tam on his head, a brown shirt, green pants and no shoes. If anyone has any information about the whereabouts of Purcell Hope, please contact the Bastyr Police Station at 465-2241, the nearest police station, or call the crime hotline at 707. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws has confirmed that the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine received from SK Bioscience, a South Korean-based facility, are approved by the World Health Organization. Dr. Laws made her statement on June 23 at the National Emergency Operations Center COVID-19 briefing in response to a question about whether the Federation had received vaccines from SK Bioscience and whether they were approved vaccines.
Both are approved by the World Health Organization, and so the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine produced by the Serum Institute of India has been approved by the World Health Organization, and so is the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine produced by SK Bioscience, South Korea.
She said these vaccines were received through the Federation's participation in the COVAX facility.
The batch we received from SK Bioscience, South Korea, was actually accessed through the COVAX facility, which is the global facility through which countries, territories can access COVID-19 vaccines. So it was sent through us through the most official route. And so, yes, both batches of vaccine have been officially approved by the World Health Organization.
SK Bioscience also has a license agreement with Novavax to produce 40 million COVID-19 vaccine doses for South Korea, as well as a contract development and manufacturing deal for global supply. SK Bioscience announced on May 17 that its facilities, processes, and quality systems in Andong, Korea, used for the production of AstraZeneca and Novavax COVID-19 vaccines, have received EU Good Manufacturing Practice certification from the European Medicines Agency, which allows SK Bioscience to export vaccines to the European markets. Medical Chief of Staff of the Joseph N. France General Hospital, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, says the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine being administered in the Federation is highly effective against the new variants of COVID-19, according to reports. During the most recent NEOC COVID-19 briefing, Dr. Wilkinson said St. Kitts and Nevis is well equipped for the fight against the new variants.
There is actually a report that came out on June 16th indicating that the AstraZeneca vaccine showed a 92% effectiveness against the Delta variant and an 86% effectiveness against the Alpha variant. And so we are happy that we have the AstraZeneca vaccine. As you heard, we have sent off our samples for genomic sequencing, and when we get those results back, we would get a fair idea as to whether or not we have a new variant here in the community. But until we get that, we need to continue making sure that persons get protected by getting the shot that's available to them, which is the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Dr. Wilkinson thanked persons who have thus far taken the vaccines and encouraged others who have not done so to do so at the soonest possible time, noting that more than 300 plus people per day are returning for their second dose. We now take a look at the nation's COVID-19 situation report and vaccination update. After the break, ECCB review says regional economies suffered setbacks due to the pandemic, and drivers urged to manage their time to avoid speeding close to curfew. Stay with us.
Want to get away? Now you can.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your national bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
Yo! You look like the dude who was shopping at Furniture and Appliances.
See, my friend, you look like you buy something from the Ashley Home Store.
How you know?
Because we get the cashback coupons and the free groceries for a year!
Cashback is back at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture. Shop now and get a chance to win free groceries for 1 year.
Flow Broadband and TV is packed with even more value as you get a free Samsung tablet, free installation, and 50% off your bill for 3 months when you sign up now. Yes, a free Samsung tablet. Power all you do at home with up to 100 megabits per second super fast broadband. Plus, stay HD entertained with Flow TV. Stream, share, and do more on your new free tablet, which will also keep you connected on the go with ease. Sign up at a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Welcome back. The findings of the 2020 Annual Economic and Financial Review reveal that the economies of the ECCU countries suffered a significant setback in 2020, mainly because of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank produced the report in May. Speaking as a guest on ECCB Connects, Acting Deputy Director and Economist at the Research Department, Beverly Labadie, explained what the report is all about.
The Economic and Financial Report is a report that we produce twice a year at the Research Department. The first one we look at the January to June period, and the second one we look at the annual period, January to December. And we look at the features of the ECCU economies during that year, and we compare it to the year before.
She went on to highlight the key findings of the Economic and Financial Review.
Our economy contracted by 14%, and we note that the tourism industry was dealt a really hard hit. Many of our citizens suffered economic hardship as they would have lost part or even all of their livelihoods. Some were thrown on the breadline, and therefore the governments were forced to step in. So we had a very unprecedented year in 2020.
Ms. Labadie added that over the past 2 decades, before 2020, the last time the region registered a sharp downward spike was in 2009, when economic activity fell by about 6%.
If we look back, let's say for the recent 2 decades, what we saw the last time that the region had a sharp downward spike before 2020 was in 2009, and that was associated with the impact of the global economic and financial crisis. Now, economic activity was down at that time in 2009 by about 6%. So 2020 is really a historic year for the region, and that is coming from growth of about 2.7% in 2019. Now, when we look at the countries on a disaggregated level, what we saw that all 8 countries registered contractions in economic activity, and that was coming from an area where they all registered positive growth in 2019.
She said it was found that the hardest hit sector across the ECCU was the hotel and restaurant sector, with a decline of 63.4%. Other main sectors such as construction, transport, retail, manufacturing, and agriculture also saw declines in 2020. She said, however, that the ECCB is optimistic that the affected sectors, including the hotel, agriculture, and manufacturing industries, will perform better in 2021. In an effort to beat the curfew, persons have been observed by traffic officers speeding to get home, which often results in an accident. That's according to Sergeant Calvin Amory from the Traffic Department, who was speaking on ZIZ Radio's On the Road program earlier this week.
We know that curfew begins at 6 p.m. And what we observe is that persons are leaving their homes just about quarter to the hour and trying to go and do errands. You might want to leave from St. Peter's and go to Keyon and expect to be back off the road before 6. And you know, it's that in itself going to cause problem, because you must increase the speed. You cannot drive within the speed limit, and that speeding is one of the main cause of road accidents. And that is what we are seeing happening, is that persons, because they are hustling, trying to get back home, or get to their places, get to do the errand, and get back home, it is causing accidents.
Sergeant Amory is asking drivers to be responsible and use the time allotted to do what needs to be done. The Traffic Department is also appealing to vendors to remove portions of their stalls left in Basse-Terre before the partial curfew and essential-only movement law was announced by the government. A notice issued on Thursday said the Traffic Department is appealing to individuals to kindly remove their tents, tables, and associated items that were left behind on the sidewalks and streets of Basse-Terre. The deadline to have these items removed is Friday, July 9. Failure to do so would result in these items being confiscated. Relatedly, the department, as well as the Public Works Department, are appealing to vehicle owners to discontinue parking in front of Shoreline Plaza. This is to mitigate potential conflicts in relation to the traffic lights along the Bay Road. As part of Child Month 2021 activities, Friday would have been the annual Child Month Parade and T-shirt Day. However, due to COVID-19 restrictions, the Early Childhood Development Unit has had to restructure how they celebrate the big day. More in this Special Education Media Unit report.
For over 3 decades, the Early Childhood Development Unit has dedicated the month of June for celebrating the outstanding achievements and strides made in the Federation's Early Childhood Education program. The month of activities typically culminates with a day full of feverish excitement as carnival-like jubilation surrounds the much-anticipated Child Month Parade, starting at Greenland's Pasture and ending at Independence Square. For the second consecutive year, the Chalmers Parade will not be held due to the restrictions put in place to protect residents from the spread of the coronavirus. The parade day would have had the streets of Bastille awash with mint green euphoria as the city is disarmed by a united force field created by both participants and spectators who delight themselves in the spectacle. One must note the support from the public, as residents across the Federation adorn themselves in their mint green t-shirts as a sign of solidarity, admiration, and appreciation for the unit's 36 years of fundamental contribution to the development of our nation's human resource. The Early Childhood Development Unit wishes to thank the Federation for its continued support and commend citizens for adhering to the protocols. The unit also seeks to remind residents to continue to wash your hands, wear your mask, and keep your distance in order to curb the spread of the virus as we work collectively to safeguard our nation's future. Reporting for Education Media Unit, I am Claire Otley.
When Jesus said yes, nobody, 'cause he's in control, there's no limit.
Coming up in regional news, Jamaica's health minister calls for calm amid vaccine scarcity. The details when we return.
Yo! You look like the dude who was shopping at Furniture and Appliances. See, my friend, you look like you buy something from the Ashley Home Store. How you know? Because we get the cashback coupons and the free groceries for a year!
Cashback is back at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture. Shop now and get a chance to win free groceries for 1 year.
It's time to scratch and match with Digicel. Collect scratch cards when you top up $20 or more at any Digicel reseller or store, or pay your phone or home and internet bill in full. Scratch and match. Get 2 or more of the same digital app and you win a prize. It's that simple. Win cash, credit, vouchers, lunches, spa dates, Digicel merchandise, and more. Plus, take the top half of your scratch cards to any of our retail stores to qualify for even more prizes in the big draw. Stay tuned to our social media pages to find out how to double or even triple your chances to scratch and match. Top up or pay your bill today. Get scratching, get matching. Digicel, better together.
Call or WhatsApp Agility Exports today at 1-246-417-0477 or email us at info@agilityexports.com to get yours now.
On the regional scene, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is calling on Jamaicans to keep calm amid the scarcity of COVID-19 vaccines. He's urging citizens, particularly those who are to receive their second doses, not to panic.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has sought to remove any doubt citizens may have regarding the government's efforts to acquire more COVID-19 vaccines. He says the scarcity of vaccines is a global issue.
It's not because we're not reaching out to sources all over the world. The reality is the world has a major issue. There are parts of the world that have not had a small fraction of their population inoculated or vaccinated.
The health minister adds that this stems from an inequality in access to vaccines.
Some people have it, some people don't. The people who have it are the people who have the manufacturing facilities, the brands, and they make sure that they get their supplies. Others of us who don't, we have to wait.
He says the recent issue of persons not being able to receive their second dose has not placed them in any danger.
You have up to 12 weeks for the second dose. So if your card say 8 weeks or 9 weeks or 10 weeks, you still don't get to 12 yet. We have nobody in our database that has gotten to 12 weeks. Next week, we intend to administer more vaccines. We are now making arrangement for a shipment to come in from Mexico, 35,000 doses.
At the same time, Dr. Tufton says the entire country is benefiting from the administration of second doses, adding that all parishes except Kingston and St. Andrew have done fairly well.
What we seem to be having in the corporate area is panic, and that panic is being transmitted as if it is a national issue. But I want to assure them that the policy of the government, even with the scarcity of vaccine, is to ensure that they get their second dose, and it will happen.
Aladdin Love for CVM Live.
Several changes are underway at the maximum security prison section of the Golden Grove prison in Arouca. The changes come after a cache of explosives and weapons was discovered outside the facility on Thursday. Terry Ann Brown Campbell of TTT News tells us more.
C4 explosives with detonators, assault weapons, ammunition and communication devices were found at the maximum security prison on Thursday. Deputy Commissioner of Prisons Shamsuddin Mohammed says the prison service was surprised by the find.
This matter is receiving the utmost attention right now of the prison service because it is alarming to say the least. And as a result of that, we have to be proactive in ensuring that the security of the prison service, as well as the security of the nation, is protected. And
the find, which police believe was to aid a prison break, was found in an area where inmates grow vegetables. DCP Mohammed notes that changes will be made immediately in that area.
The inmates are rotated on a regular basis. However, we are addressing the security concerns, as I mentioned, and action will be taken to strengthen that security on the outside.
Asked whether there are sufficient officers to man the facility, DCP Mohammed explained,
we did hire a number of, brought on board a number of new recruits into the system. And we are looking forward to getting some more, right, in order to complement the full strength of our staff.
The last large-scale prison break was in May 2019. At that time, 8 inmates escaped from the remand facility at the Golden Grove prison in Arouca. Terry Ann Brown Campbell, TTT News.
That's it for regional news, and some information just coming to hand. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris will be addressing the nation live on ZIZ Radio and TV tonight at 8:30. It will also be streamed on ZIZ social media pages and will be carried on participating radio stations. Coming up after the break, ex-police officer sentenced to more than 20 years for killing George Floyd. International news is next.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your
trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy life to the fullest without having to worry? Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Internationally, ex-police officer Derek Chauvin has been sentenced to 22.5 years in prison for the murder of George Floyd on May 25, 2020 by kneeling on his neck and back for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Trial judge Peter Cahill handed down the sentence on Friday. The maximum time he could have received was 40 years. His defense asked for 12.5. The sentencing comes 10 months and 26 days after Floyd's death. CBS News with this special report.
This is a CBS News special report. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Major Garrett in Washington. The nation's eyes are on a courtroom in Minneapolis as former officer Derek Chauvin is sentenced for murdering George Floyd. He faces a maximum of 40 years. Judge Peter Cahill is about to deliver the sentence. Let us listen in.
That you took the time to stay with this case and to provide me with input. I have reviewed the pre-sentence investigation and carefully considered all the facts of the case and the law. What the case is, or what the sentence is not based on, is emotion or sympathy. But at the same time, I want to acknowledge the deep and tremendous pain that all the families are feeling, especially the Floyd family. You have our sympathies. And I acknowledge and hear the pain that you are feeling. I acknowledge the pain not only of those in this courtroom, but the Floyd family who are outside this courtroom and other members of the community. It has been painful throughout Hennepin County, throughout the state of Minnesota, and even the country. But most importantly, we need to recognize the pain of the Floyd family. Mr. Chauvin, as to count one, based on the verdict of the jury finding you guilty of unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony under Minnesota Statute 609.19 Subdivision 2, paren 1, pursuant to Minnesota Statute Section 609.04, counts 2 and 3 will remain unadjudicated as they are lesser offenses of count 1. As sentenced for count 1, the court commits you to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 270 months. That's 270. That is a 10-year addition to the presumptive sentence of 150 months. This is based on your abuse of a position of trust and authority, and also the particular cruelty shown to George Floyd. You're granted credit for 199 days already served. You're prohibited from possessing firearms, ammunition, or explosives for the remainder of your life. Provide a DNA sample as required by law. Register as a predatory offender as required by law.
Judge Peter Cahill has just announced the sentence of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, 22.5 years.
The Kawasas First Nation in Saskatchewan, Canada, says ground-penetrating radar found an estimated 751 unmarked graves at the site of the former Marival Indian Residential School that was once operated by the Catholic Church. CBC News Canada has this report containing details some may find distressing.
Chief Cadmus Delorme says the oral stories of Kawasas First Nation always spoke of unmarked graves here.
We know that our loved ones here, our ancestors are here.
A ground-penetrating radar search performed this month confirms it. Under those orange flags, lined up in rows, 1 meter by 1 meter apart.
As of yesterday, we have hit 751 unmarked graves. We cannot affirm that they are all children, but there are oral stories that there are adults in this gravesite as well.
The Maryville Indian Residential School and adjacent community cemetery were run by the Catholic Church from 1886 to the 1970s. The school closed in 1996.
They were putting us down as a people.
Elder Florence Sparvier, a former student and survivor of the school, isn't surprised by how this was left.
They made us believe we didn't have souls.
Some graves were originally marked. The church admits a priest removed gravestones in the 60s over a dispute with the community.
It was a terrible thing to do, which, given the history of residential schools and the pain and suffering that many survivors felt.
So, who's buried here? What records still exist? Were all burials even recorded? A 1936 school document outlines a protocol to report deaths. Was it always followed? The Canadian Conference of Catholic Bishops says it will help find answers.
It's very disturbing. You have a lot of questions in your mind, and so we just want to get down to the bottom of it.
After the discovery of 215 graves in Kamloops, for non-Indigenous Canadians, another stark example of a shameful history willfully overlooked.
We all must put down our ignorance and accidental racism of not addressing the truth that this country has with Indigenous people.
For the community, that means putting a headstone on each one of those graves, but given the amount of time that's passed, it's unlikely they'll all bear a name.
And Cam, could there be more than what's been found there so far?
Well, at Cowessess, the numbers may fluctuate a bit due to review of the readings, but across the country, First Nations leaders are clear. They expect to find more bodies on more sites. And tonight, many First Nations, in honor of Cowessess, aren't lowering their Canadian flags to half-mast. They're just taking them down entirely.
Okay, thanks, Cam.
Up next in sport, one national athlete so far confirmed to participate in Tokyo Olympics and World Rally Championship to be hosted in Nairobi. Stay tuned.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
I took the vaccine because I want the in-person audience experience at Sugar Mass 50.
I took the vaccine because I want to be performing with all my peoples on Ultra Truck this year for Carnival.
I get vaccinated because I want to be on the road for Sugar Mass 50.
The reason I chose to be vaccinated because I'm a professional as an entertainer, for us to have a safer Boyton Carnival.
I am DJ Flames and I got vaccinated because I want Sugar Mass 50 to be greater than ever.
I took the vaccine because I miss entertaining thousands of people and I miss hosting my own events. See you at Sugar Mass 50. Boom.
Get vaccinated quickly to turn up Sugar Mass 50.
First up in sport, 100-meter runner Jason Rogers will be representing St. Kitts and Nevis in the upcoming 2021 Tokyo Olympics. This was revealed by President of the St. Kitts and Nevis Olympic Committee, Alfonso Bridgewater, during an address to mark International Olympic Day, which was celebrated on June 23. He said the runner was among 6 other athletes tapped to receive scholarship opportunities in hopes to qualify for the Games. However, Rogers is the only one to qualify so far.
Among the list of athletes were Jason Rogers, male athlete in the 100 meters, Warren Hazel, male athlete in the 400 meters, Hakeem Huggins, a male athlete in the 100 and 200 meters, Jermaine Francis, a male athlete in the high jump, Chanel Cook, a female athlete in the 100 and 200 meters, Rihanna Richards, female athlete in the 400-meter hurdles, and Crystal Leibel, the female athlete in the long jump. To date, only one athlete, Jason Rogers, has qualified for participation.
Bridgewater said athletes are chosen based on their performance and potential. And as it pertains to athletes taking the vaccine to participate in the Games, he said the SKNOC will follow the lead of the International Olympic Committee, or IOC, to not make it mandatory for athletes to take the COVID-19 vaccine.
The word of the International Olympic Committee suggests that as much as 80% of the athletes who will take up residence at the athletes' village will be fully vaccinated. The International Olympic Committee's formal policy remains, however, that no athlete will be mandated to take the vaccine. Vaccination will not be a prerequisite for athletes' participation or accreditation. As for the National Olympic Committee's position, similarly, the National Olympic Committee of St. Kitts and Nevis does not mandate any athlete or delegate to take the vaccine to participate.
He said the SKNOC will continue to be guided by the science and the data from the medical and other appropriate experts associated with the IOC, World Health Organization, local authorities, and the government. The 2021 World Rally Championship is being hosted in Nairobi, Kenya, and local drivers are excited about this adventure. This weekend's event is made up of 18 stages spanning 4 days, where the Great Rift Valley and Lake Naivasha will be the base for this challenge. Africa News reports.
Kenya's famed safari rally is making a comeback at home after a 19-year wait. The race has earned a reputation as the toughest event on the World Rally Championship calendar. Riders have to cover enormous distances in arduous condition. This year, it begins from Friday, June the 25th till Sunday, June the 27th.
So part of our preparations is really stripping down the car, taking out the entire drivetrain to just go through item by item to make sure everything is spick and span.
Kenya's Safari Rally is the 6th round of the 2021 World Rally Championship. In this edition, the event has attracted 58 entrants from across the world. The last time Kenya took part in the World Rally Championship was in 2002. And so, it is no wonder that locals are enthusiastic about the showdown on Kenyan soil once again.
For us, it's like the Olympics. It's one of those privileges in motorsport for you to be able to rally and rally with the best and be able to compare yourself against the best, the current crop. It's a ridiculously beautiful feeling.
This week's event is made up of 18 stages spanning 4 days. The Great Rift Valley and Lake Naivasha will be the base for this tough challenge.
Don't want to put a lot of pressure on myself. My plan is just to finish the rally at whatever position. Of course, I'll try to be competitive.
And it seems that after all these years, locals continue to hold fond memories of the game.
Actually, I have a childhood memory that I have to do. It was I was a small boy. The cars used to pass in Ruaka. I remember I woke up early, went to see them. Coming back, my dad gave me a good beating. Now, no, this time we are passing through Ruaka. I'll be in the seat. So it's a good feeling.
On Thursday, President Uhuru Kenyatta flagged off the 2021 World Rally Championship in Nairobi.
When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines.
Whether you're at home or abroad, ZIZ's social media platforms help you stay connected with what's going on in St. Kitts and Nevis. Keep up with daily events by liking our Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter at ZBC Online. Like our pictures on Instagram and subscribe to our videos on YouTube. Also, you can watch us live on the ZIZ mobile app and our website, zizonline.com. No matter where you are, ZIZ is just a click away. ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, reaching you wherever you are.
We now wrap up with a recap of the top stories. The police need your help to find a missing man. South Korean vaccines used here approved by the World Health Organization, and a senior health official says AstraZeneca vaccine is effective against new COVID variants. And that's it for the ZIZ Major Newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jason Davis.